Very good evening to each and everyone present on this platform. Friends, this is a 7-day certificate training program on Indian knowledge system, that is Bharatiya Krishi Gyan Parampara. And we want to integrate the traditional wisdom of the farmers for sustainable agriculture. And this is fourth day of the training program. So at the outset, I welcome all of you, and of course, I appreciate the effort made by Meadow Agriculture. Friends, the topic given to me is regarding this terrace farming, particularly in the Indian Himalayas. So I will deal with the traditional terrace farming system, which is prevalent in the Indian Himalayas. So I think many of you people are known about this traditional farming systems. Slide में नहीं हो रहा अभी. Okay, let me see. Slides are not moving. Okay. Okay, friends, there are two major terms. One is terrace farming system, and second is Indian Himalayan region. Now, see, if we discuss about the Indian Himalayas, it is stretched over almost 2,500 kilometers, and it starts right from Ladakh, and it's end in the northeastern part. So mostly uh, 13, you can say, the Indian state or union territory, where are these Indian Himalayas are stretched or distributed. Almost 15 million people, they reside in this region, and because of the undulating topography and very harsh conditions, uh, the Indian Himalaya really it is a very versatile, and agriculture in these type of hilly areas is very difficult. See, the total geographical area is around 0.5 million kilometers square, and it is our country's almost 17% geographical area. In Himalayas, we can divide the whole Himalaya region in Trans Himalayas, the major Himalayas, and the northeastern part of Himalaya region. And there are different type of categories that you can see the biosphere geographic province, right from Ladakh mountains, Tibetan plateau, Sikkim Trans Himalaya, that comes under Trans Himalaya. Then in the main Himalaya, then north to West Himalaya, Central Himalaya, and East Himalaya. And coming to the northeast India, we have Brahmaputra Valley and Northeast Hills. Now, if you see the distribution of our this Himalaya, it rightly starts from Ladakh, then J&K, then Himachal Pradesh, then Uttarakhand, then in between we have Nepal, then coming to Sikkim, then again we have another country, Bhutan, then Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, then Manipur, then Mizoram, then Tripura, then Meghalaya, and only two hill districts of Assam and some parts of West Bengal, particularly in Darjeeling area. So here, how this Himalaya is situated in the upper part of our country, that you can see. That's why we call as crown of our country. Now, the main thing or main feature is that in Himalayan region, there are so many tribes, right from J&K or Ladakh, we have Ladakhi, then in Sikkim, we have Lepcha, we have this Tamang, and in northeastern part, we have Naga, we have Adi tribes, we have Khasi, we have Jaintia, we have many means you can say the tribal people are residing in the Himalayan region. And because of the harsh conditions, the farmers of this region, they have very wisely cultivated the land, and that wisdom is continuously going on. And of course, those traditions, they contribute toward the Indian knowledge system. And nowadays, many of these, you can say, the traditional farming practices, they really need innovations, because our needs, our presented need, they have changed many folds. Now, the second major term is terrace farming. Friends, terrace farming is nothing but, you can say, this is a method where when we have hilly areas or slopy lands, that can, how we can utilize that area. So for that purpose, we are cutting some part of that hill and making some steps like structure, and that we call as terrace or step farming. Friends, in this picture you can see that how beautiful it is looking. So this is terrace that act as a small, you can say, farm unit. And the purpose is that when we have high hill or high steeps or hilly areas, the major issue is the loss of top fertile soil, soil erosion, and of course the water, because that is being flowed. So how we can cultivate this type of hilly slopes? So making these slopes as a fertile agriculture fields, we are just manipulating some things, and that's why this is very much a necessity in the hilly areas. Now, look at the some of the data, that if we are not having some terrace-like structure, then you know that our top fertile soil is being washed away with the heavy rainfall, and the mountain regions or the hill regions, they receive high rainfall. So this particularly the terrace, they reduce the soil erosion almost more than 52%. And because of these terrace or these terrace-like steps, the infiltration rate, this is means being increased, and ultimately it is contributing towards increase in soil moisture, and that on an average you can have almost the 13% increase in the soil moisture content. Likewise, with these features, even the increase of various crop, that also increases almost 45%. And in the entire, even in the Himalayan region, or you can say in the Hindu Kush Himalayan region, you can see this type of terrace farming. Particularly if we discuss about the Asia, even in India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Japan, and Philippines. Whereas if we discuss about the Andes, particularly in the South America, Peru, and even in some parts of the Europe and Africa, where this terrace farming is being practiced. And if we look at the regional dominance in area, China particularly, it is leading with approximately 13.2 million hectares area, while Peru, where it the terrace farming is means born. Now at this time we have around 2 million hectare areas. Now coming to the types of terrace, friends, there are two major types that we call as graded terrace and level terrace. In graded terrace, what we have, the slopes that can vary along with the length of the terrace, because we need to spread this water in the different desired locations. Whereas in level terrace, we can have a uniform flow of water. So this is the main difference within this graded terracing and level terracing. In level terracing, the particular strip or the terrace, that is completely leveled, and there will be a uniform flow of water in all the directions. Whereas in graded terrace, we are not maintaining or we are not leveling that particular terrace, and the you can say the topography of that particular terrace may be even undulating wherever we need the flow of water in that direction. Now see, in terrace farming, there are some of the major, you can say, the types also, and the bench terracing. Bench terracing is a very important feature. If the slope is means steep, then we have no options and we have to make these bench. And in this type of means farming, or you can say the terrace farming, we are preparing the terraces which resembles like benches. That's why we call as a bench terrace. And in the picture you can see how it looks beautiful, and the method is very simple, that we have to draw a center line, then some parts we have to cut, and the lower part we have to fill. So the measure method is cut and fill method for preparing this type of terrace. Then the another part, you can say the contour terracing, where we are not means bothering about the other things, but simply the strip, but or the bench which we are preparing is along with the contour lines. That may be a natural contour line. And in parallel terracing, again, same thing, that we have to make all the means particular strips or a bench parallel or leveled. Then another type of this bench terrace, that we can refer as the half moon terrace. And if the hill is small and it's having circular type of thing, then we have to means cut the earth, and we have to make that in a circular way. So that's why we call it as a half moon terrace. Here you in right side you can see how in a particular hill slope these terraces are being formed. So this is just that in which part of our country which type of means terraces are being preferred. So the level terrace, they are being preferred particularly in the Uttarakhand and Sikkim and some parts of the Meghalaya. The bench terraces, this particularly in the Himachal Pradesh and Darjeeling area. The graded terraces, those are particularly in the southern part of our country and in some part of Assam. The riser terrace is nothing but where the riser which is between the two terrace, uh, which if made strong and tall, then we call as a riser terrace, and particularly it is very much prevalent in the northeast India. Now, for preparing these type of terraces, earlier the farmers or the tribal farmers, they were having their own type of wisdom, and there was even no written documents, or no written means proper methodology. But because now we have the full knowledge of science, that's why we are just narrating here how we can scientifically prepare these type of terraces. So method that I have already discussed, that the popular method is simply the cut and fill method, and it involves just digging of the soils from the upper part of a slope and then moving it to the lower part, so that we can fill it there and create a level or stable surface. And friends, here we need to make a balance, because if we want to bring the soil from outside, then it is very costly. So whatever portion or whatever soil mass we are cutting, that must suffice to fill the gap. And for that, the first step is we need to site survey and planning. We have to go that particular site, and then we have to plan that particularly what type of terrain is there, and to identify the high and low points, and then particularly the contour line we have to fix. Then even uh, we have to set a benchmark or a reference point so that we can ensure the consistent or constant elevation measurement across that particular site, and we have to make a balance between the cut volume and fill volume, because otherwise the cost, transportation cost for bringing the soil or mass from the outside is very high, costly. Then definitely for preparing the terraces or bench terraces, we need to clear all the trees, shrubs, and whatever the stubbles are there. And then what to do? Then we have to strip all the top fertile soil, that is from the 15 to 20 centimeter, which is we consider as a root zone, because that top soil otherwise will be just turned down side. So we are collecting this soil and keeping this topsoil aside. Then the main thing is this construction of the terraces by the cut and fill method. Then the popular that approach is top-down approach, where generally we start constructing all these branches from top side of the hill and then comes downside, because that prevent new terraces from being washed away, because otherwise the newly formed terraces, they are being washed away with the high velocity of water. Then cutting, here we excavate the high side of the terrace and then create a vertical or sloped riser, because after every terrace we need a riser also, that we call as bank. Then the cut soil mass which we have cut, that we have to bring downside uh, below this riser, so that we can prepare a very leveled or flat terrace. Then one important step is compaction also, because if the material is loose, then definitely that may be washed away. So we need to fill that particularly topsoil which we have collected and stored at another place, that in the top surface of that bench. Again we have to just spread that topsoil, and of course we have to maintain slightly higher volume, so that whenever there will be rainfall, that soil will settle and comes down, that up to 10% higher level we can maintain. Then of course we need some slope towards the downhill side, and because we need particularly the drainage also, and for protection of riser, there should be a particular ratio, and the riser bank, that slope should be 0.75 to 1, or 1 is to 1. That means that whatever the width of that strip or that bench is there, so almost the same type of this riser we need. And of course, I have discussed about this replacement of topsoil, that we have to bring again and spread it. And of course, at last stage, we have to check the level if we want to make the leveled strips or leveled terraces. Then there are some key issues or key points that we have to keep in our mind, that we must maintain our topsoil, because the topsoils that contains the essential nutrient for crop growth, and that particular soil is very fertile soil. So we need to separately collect that soil, so that that fertile soil can be utilized by spreading it again on the level surface. And of course, then riser height, it means depends, it is also a very important factor. And The riser height, it may vary up to 2 meters for the ease of maintenance. Otherwise, if there will be means height more than this 2 meter, then the maintenance will be difficult because uh, the height, that riser height, we are stabilizing with the grasses or maybe with the stone structures. Then balancing the volume, already I have discussed this point that whatever we are cutting the soil mass, that must utilize for filling up the that below part. Otherwise, if the balance is not means maintained, or we need to bring soils from outside, then it add to cost. Then friend, see this type of things are means in a scientific manner we are conducting. Here you can see the central line where we need no cut and no fill, right? So this is the line, and based on this central line, now you can imagine that this is the length of a one terrace, and from the this original ground surface we need to cut or remove this soil mass, and here this we need to fill it so that we can create a leveled terrace. Here there are so many terms, but because I don't want to go in detail, so that it will be easy to understand. Otherwise, what is the this vertical interval and the height of the risers? Uh, Particular this height of risers, I want to explain that this is the final level of one terrace. Then the second terrace is coming here, this one. So this from edge to this part, this is the actual height of the riser for the next terrace. And these are some of the terms and their formulas to calculate all those things, the vertical interval, then the uh, reverse height, the height of riser, width of terrace, linear length, all those we need some scientific calculation to prepare all these terraces in a scientific manner, so that we can have stable bench terrace. Then friends, coming to the different type of tribal, you can say the systems which are being still privileged in the country. So one that important system is the Apatani system of farming, and this is in the Arunachal Pradesh in Zero Valley, and that site is UNESCO World Heritage Site. Friends, here they are preparing the terraces. Those terraces are very broad, and the Apatani tribe, that tribal people, their ancestors, and still up to this time, they are following this practice. And the unique feature is that till date, the soils or the system is highly productive and very ecologically sound. Here, what they are doing in this practice, they are cultivating paddy and fish both together, right? So every year the yield that is sustained, that means they are that system is very much sustainable, and the fertile soil or the fertile land is maintained because they are utilizing the water which is coming from the hill slopes. That means when water is coming, the dissolved essential nutrients that are being carried with the water, and they are utilizing this water for restoring the soil fertility. And with these type of terraces, they are protecting soil erosion also and landslides. And if we compare this system with any other type of system which are prevalent in this area, the system is 3 to 4 times means more giving production, particularly for paddy. I will show the pictures also. See, this is the actual system. These are the broad terraces they are preparing, and the slope. This is the very gentle slope, 0 to 8% maximum. And what they are doing, that whatever the water is coming from the hill slopes, they are just diverting through the channels, and at the rim of the valley they harvest that, and then they channelize this water to the these broad terraces. And here in some cases we have observed that the ridges of these terraces, they also are making means very broad, and where they are cultivating vegetables also. But in these broader terraces, they are cultivating paddy, and in paddy they are having fingerlings or fish culture also. Yes, that part I have discussed. Some of the pictures you can see that the age, that is very, you can say, in solid way they are preparing. And if the need arise that from one terrace to another terrace they are channelizing water, and here this particular tribal lady is just collecting the fingerlings, the fish. Now, if we compare this Apatani system for few parameters, you can see that after 3 years, if we perform this type of this Apatani system, then you may find that the particularly nitrogen is increasing by almost 28%. Phosphorus is increasing by almost 45%. Potassium is increasing by 6.5%. And there is increase in organic matter content by almost 29%. Whereas this type of system, the methane emission is reduced by 30%. And if you see the methane emission rates, if you compare it with the soil rise system, then particularly this Patani system, see, in soil rise system, the methane emission rate is 4.73, whereas in Apatani system, it is just half. Then another type of system which is prevalent in Nagaland, actually here this is a water harvesting system, but with this harvested water, they are also having with different type of terraces where they are cultivating paddy, and this is you can say the in a particular district and a particular village, the farmers of that Kikruma village, they have developed this system, and still it is prevalent because it is a very it is also a very productive system. Here they also cultivate paddy cum fish, and in real sense it is multiple cropping system. I will explain it in the next slides. See, this is the top, you can say the catchment area. They maintain all the forest here, and then the water with the rainfall event, it comes down with the different channels, and every channel that is assigned to a particular family, and they have to maintain this channel, and they have to keep the vegetation intact, means they have to safeguard the forest plants with associated with that particular channel. No one can cut a single tree, and then this water is coming down, and first they have a series of siltation tanks, right? So first this water goes to siltation tank where the silt that settle down, and then it comes to the main this water harvesting pond, right? Then when they need to irrigate the paddy fields, then they have here a this cattle shed where commonly they are keeping pigs and all other cattles. Then the water at whenever it is needed, this water is being diverted through this cattle shed, so that all the dungs, urine, and other material that mix with the water and enriched in the nutrient, then it is coming to the paddy field. And this is also, you can say, different uh, terrace like structures where they used to irrigate this type of means fields. So friends, here it is a multi-tier system, and of course that silt which is being deposited in the siltation tank, that is also being utilized in the paddy field for improving the soil fertility. These are the some of the pictures of this Kuruma village. You can see this is a particular channel which is coming from the catchment area or the forest area. Nowadays, with the advancement of the, you can say, the resources, now the farmers, they are making this pakka type of siltation tanks, and after depositing silt here, that water is again flowed from the top side of this siltation tank, then it comes to the main water harvesting tank. This type of terrace is being framed in this Jamo farming system where they have paddy and fish together. Then one more system where the bench, or you can say the benches, they are prepared with the raised beds. Here you can see that these in right side picture you can have a look that the terraces, they are raised. So the farmers, they are creating a series of raised steps or raised benches or raised bed, particularly if you see the height that ranges from 0.15 to 0.30 meter, and width is 0.75 to 1 meter, and almost equal space they are keeping in between the two these beds, right? And what they are doing, first they are clearing all the jungle in some sense, that they are not cutting the big trees but all the shrubs and weeds, because in Meghalaya we have world's highest rainfall. So the controlling or managing weed, that is also a very big issue. You can't control this type of high rainfall. There is a huge growth of the weeds. So what they are doing, they are just collecting the weeds and shrubs, and then for 5 to 7 days they are keeping that for drying, and then they are piling all these harvested or the collected or semi-dried this weed or shrubs biomass in the piles. Then they are putting soil mass on that particular arranged this biomass. In the next slide I will show. See this type of structure. The first they pile the semi-dried biomass, and then they put the soil mass. So after some time, what they are doing, they are burning this dried or semi-dried this biomass, and because of this upper this soil mass, there is almost the unoxidized conditions, or the oxygen supply is very limited. So without knowing what they are doing, they are preparing the biochar, but they don't know that what they are doing, but they know that this practice will improve their productivity. So in real sense, now we know that in unoxidized conditions, when we burn any phytomass, then the product is biochar, and the biochar is very useful for acidic soils, because the biochar has basic cations, and that contribute to improving the soil fertility. So this type of you can say the raised terrace they are preparing, and they are taking particularly the root crops like this ginger, turmeric, potato, sweet potato, this type of crops they are taking, and the crop yield and productivity is very high. Now you see that we have compared this system with the zoom cultivation, that where open burning is performed. So here you can see in the first year with the zoom cultivation, this type of system you can compare. In ginger, the productivity is high. In potato, the productivity is high. Even in the second year, with if you see the upland paddy, even in upland paddy also the productivity is high. Then coming to the improvement in soil properties, you can see the first this column is first year before burning, then first year after burning, and the next one is second year. So the different parameters of soil is discussed here. See pH before burning, first year 4.28, but even first year after burning, the soil pH is improved. Likewise, soil organic carbon 1.63, but after burning 2.76. Cation exchange capacity 7.28, after burning 10.65. So you can see that all the soil parameters which contributes towards improving the soil acidity are being improved, whereas you can see that aluminium, magnesium, this particularly aluminium, you see here that 1.56 before burning, but after burning it significantly reduces because aluminium is contributing towards soil acidity. So all the parameters which improve soil this acidity is being improved, whereas the parameters which are contributing towards acidity are being reduced. So friends, the major benefit is that here with this type of terrace farming, we can harvest the every drop of water, and we can reduce the runoff, we can reduce the top fertile soil loss, and of course with that harvested water, we can increase the soil moisture content, and that ultimately contributing towards improving the soil fertility or productivity. Here I have mentioned that this Apatani rice terrace, this is very famous, and it is declared as a UNESCO heritage site. Likewise, in Philippines also we have rice terraces that is also declared a heritage site by UNESCO. And in China, we have Honge honey rice terrace that is also very famous. You can just Google it and see the pictures also. Look, it looks very beautiful. So my point is that all these traditional terrace farming practices, which is still prevalent in many of the parts of the world, particularly in the Asia, they are very good and helps in better utilization of hill slopes, because you know that we have degraded lands, we have less soil resources, so we want to utilize every inch of land, and for that, to feed our growing population, we need to cultivate these hill slope also. And this is the only solution that by which we can utilize this type of hill slopes. Then it reduces soil erosion, it increases soil moisture content, and ultimately it increases crop yield and contribute towards food security. But friends, definitely we need to innovate all these practices, because many of these practices, they are means farmers, they are not utilizing because they need some refinement, because our social this requirement, our social needs, they have changed, and we need to innovate. Innovate means inculcating the social challenge which we are facing, so that these practices can make be very much relevant for the our present need also. So thank you. With this, I end my presentation, and I